Hey everyone, it's Frobomb. I'm going to be talking through my clear of Gekirindan, which is a Taito shmup that is actually a Toaplan shmup. It's by former Toaplan devs. It feels exactly like a Toaplan game in a good way. It's not one of my favorite shooters. It's a little bit on the easy side, but I say that with a big asterisk because there's a lot of slightly slightly frustrating design in this that I'll point out. One of which is the very confusing fact that the Type C ship on the player 2 side is noticeably more powerful than any other ship in the game. Why that is, I'm not entirely sure, but if you want to kind of get the easiest clear possible of this game, go ahead and select that one. The scoring system in this game is really simple. You get these like eagles and you kill stuff, and unless I'm forgetting something, I'll mention it as I play through. That's pretty much it. You got to speed kill that guy by getting up in his face, or else you don't get this bomb ship, the ship that holds an extra bomb that comes down the screen right there. Um, Not sure how fast you have to do it, but usually if you just get up on his face, you always get that bomb. So as you can see, you have two types of weapons at all times. You have your main shot that you power up with P items, and you have a secondary shot that you collect with. Oh, and you have two separate shots actually. This is the only glimpse you'll get of the second shot. When you collect a C, you switch between your two shots, and the second shot of this ship is very not useful to say the least. It's like modest. It's like decently powerful, but it has no screen control ability, and I honestly don't even think it's that powerful. Uh, so I've got the homing secondary weapon right now, which is just you can see those lasers coming out the sides and pummeling this dude. And you can see these patterns in this first level are super easy. This is maybe a little hard if you don't know this trick, but stay up in this guy's cradle and you just avoid those missiles that he shoots out of his hands, and you'll be done with him in 2 seconds. And I actually got clipped by these Taito lasers more than I'd like to admit, just because I got bored sitting there. Like, why would you design that last little pattern that happens every single time you fight the boss to be so slow? It's it's nice. It's a nice thought that they were considering beginners, but much of the game is plenty difficult, and I don't know. I don't know why those Taito lasers go so slow. It's slightly confusing. Not a huge deal, but it stuck with me every single run. I was just like, God damn it, these four lasers that move at a snail's pace. Okay, so the gimmick of this game is you go through time trying to battle this guy. So now we're in 1942, which is a neat conceit. I like it, but unfortunately, there's only kind of two time periods that aren't the far future, and one of them is modern day. And it's just like there's so much they could have done, like uh, that would have been a little bit more interesting than what ended up being here. These two tanks are kind of dangerous. You just gotta make sure you're moving from one side to the other when they release their big lines of fire. Lots of just screen control here with the wide shot. If you let, this is Shmups 101. Okay, stay to the right of this guy so that his 3 bullets just kind of skirt you, and then tap dodge to kill all of these side guns. A little difficult part um, if you don't have the kind of movement down. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Shmups 101, but obviously if the enemies overwhelm the screen, you're gonna have a horrible time with this game. But if you control the screen well, which this particular character does nicely, it's really not that hard. You let that guy destroy those houses, and then so you can collect the items, and then speed kill him to get that train to come up the screen and get more points with it. I honestly don't know if I figured out the trick with that train to score off of it. Maybe you have to like let it go all the way past the screen. I shoot it, and I didn't feel like it gave me a ton of points, honestly. So, guess put a big asterisk next to that one. There's some kind of scoring trick to do there, but I'm not sure if I executed it right. But you definitely let that big tank move up and kill all those houses. That I know for sure. Give this guy a nice point blank as he comes down the screen, which he takes forever, so you can get a ton of shots in on him before he even starts firing. Usually his first phase will only cycle through one time before he's in his second phase. I bomb this first attack of his second phase because it's a tough one to dodge. This pattern and then these fireballs are much easier. So I don't mind just dropping a bomb there so I don't have to worry about that more dangerous first pattern. There you go, that boss is done. Okay, that level is, I mean, that looked pretty easy. There's some kind of annoyances that you can get caught by in that one, but this level here, which is 1999, is the one where, this is the one where I would start to die to, I would start to die a little bit more often. Like those submarines right there, they'll shoot you. Every once in a while, these planes careening down the screen, even if you shoot them and they're on fire, every once in a while, I think they'll let a bullet off. It doesn't happen too often, so it makes me feel crazy. Like, do they really? But then one time, yep, sure enough, I was getting complacent, and one just fired off a shot when it was like 2/3 of the way down the screen and killed me. So you got to just be moving around constantly in this stage. Same thing with this boat. Just try and stay in the middle, ducking underneath all of this fire. If you get cornered, it's not nearly as easy. And be sure to take care of the submarines as you see them on its right. Oop, that was a little close. It's just moving up the screen. See, it's a nice looking game. There's a Zuntata soundtrack, but like I have in my written review, I just kind of think it sounds like Zuntata wannabe stuff, or like not their best work. It's like they put their B people on it or something. It's not bad. I'm not gonna say that, but it's certainly no Ray Force. It's no G Darius. It's no Darius Gaiden. It's not even close. It's serviceable, but like this section just lasts too long. It's just not that interesting. That's the problem with this game. It's just it feels a little bit thin on the content. Okay, this is a really annoying thing. Those tanks coming to the side from the left and right will get you. So you got to kind of practice that part and learn the timing of dodging that pattern so you can simultaneously go and kill those tanks on the left and right. Otherwise, I died a lot there, actually. This was only 2 or 3 nights of playing this game to clear it, but it was like a bit of a grind, more so than I expected. From what I was reading from people who've played it, I was like, oh, this will be a cakewalk. It's not that, it's certainly not that tough, but there are fast bullets and there are snipey kind of Raiden-like moments where you'll just, you'll get hit and you won't even know where the fuck it came from unless you watch the replay, and you'll see, that's an easy boss. You just if you're at full power, certainly. If you're at not full power, all of a sudden all bets are off in this game, and it actually becomes very difficult. But if you can manage to stay at full power through the first 3-ish, 4-ish stages, then yeah, you've got a pretty good chance of clearing, I guess, is what I would say. So one scoring thing that someone mentions on the shmup forums is that you want to make sure you kill these turrets on these platforms before getting the platforms, and that gets you more score. Such an annoying little thing to have to try to do. Like I do it here, you just gotta like hit it with the sidemost shot and then like go kill the platform. Don't like doing it, so I didn't do a good job executing that particular trick. And again, I'm honestly not even sure how much score it gets you. I can't be that much. Alright, there's 2 tanks that hide behind these walls. You just want to make sure to take out the walls quickly so you can deal with the tanks. That I didn't do a good job, and the wall just slides out. So then you got to dodge if you didn't manage to take out the wall to quick kill the tank. Not terribly hard dodging, but okay. Now you're gonna get these kamikaze planes flying in at you, and they can. Oh, I had to let off a panic bomb there, and I almost got clipped by the kamikaze plane. So that's what I mean. It's like that stuff. That's stuff that'll get you a bunch, and it's difficult to prepare for it and route for it. You just kind of have to be, mentally steel yourself and try to be careful. But I certainly didn't find that easy. This part is cool where the floor drops out from under you after I kill all these guys. I'm gonna just go ahead and pick up that repeat homing power up and avoid the sea. So the floor falls away, and then immediately like 100 kamikaze planes just come and kill you. And if you're not ready for it, you'll just be dead. But since I am ready for it, of course I start tap dodging, and then you move up the screen really quickly, and generally you can avoid them. Bomb through that attack because it's extremely hard to dodge. Didn't have a good strategy for dodging that one. And then you move up the screen to dodge when he shoots out the little snake of robots. And then that guy should die, if you're at full power pretty quickly. And now comes the tougher part of this boss, which is this big plane. These bombs, I let go a bit of the ways up the screen before shooting because they release all these little pellets that kind of float down. And if they're too low, or if the bombs are too low, if you start shooting them immediately, the pellets will just fly out and again just decimate you with you having no ability to kind of respond to them. So I just had to kind of learn that the easier way to handle those is to just let them float up the screen a bit. Ooh, okay, that was good on that. A little bit of a tough pattern or stage of that boss in the last one, but this is the toughest one. This takes forever for this guy to die, even at full power. So you just have to be mentally, you have to be mentally strong. And these tap dodges aren't hard, but they just tend to psych you out a little bit if you're weak. And I stayed strong and I didn't bomb through it. Oh, I didn't even have bombs to bomb through it if I wanted to. But that's a tough pattern just because it takes so long. Oh, another part of scoring is just keeping bombs. Keeping bombs through the whole game, it rewards you quite a lot at the end of every single stage. All right. I forget this is stage. This is the last stage of the game. Short game for sure, and not a 2-loop game unless I'm mistaken and missing something. But I think it's just 1 loop, and it's 6 stages, and the stages are pretty short. These guys will just come down the screen. You point blank them, and then you move down the screen to kind of stay out of the fire of the tanks. And you'll see sometimes there are 2 at once, and there's nothing you can do but kind of like let one get its shots off, basically. But you learn the spread pattern that they do, and it's fairly easy to get into the gaps. That one right there, it's like that's a little trickier. That was just me having to react to that as opposed to do what I know works. Not too tough, but you just gotta, again, screen control. You can't let these things stay alive. If there's 2 on the screen shooting you at the same time, it's much more difficult. Okay. These things remind me of Outzone. Every time I got to this section, I was like, this looks like Outzone. Alright, this is pretty easy. You just speed kill those bat looking things. Make sure to dodge their fire, make sure to really quickly kill all these guys, because if they get up the screen, they'll start shooting. And what else? Okay, those guys die quickly. Up here, there's going to be these pillars that jut up out of the ground, kind of one at a time, and then multiple at a time. Oh, they start 2 at a time, I guess. So you just stay cool, They shoot a spread pattern that overlaps and is difficult, but if you can manage to kill them in a timely fashion, you're not going to get too many of those spreads on screen at once. Not a huge problem. Extra bomb here. I think we're still no miss, which is good. This boss, this pink boss, I didn't have great strategies for. I just kind of resourced my way through this with 2 bombs. I did dodge that first laser, and then he lets go with outside lasers, and you tap dodge through his middle. And I let a bomb go there just to make sure that I got enough damage off on him, because you have to kill this guy. He gives you an extend, so you don't want to miss it. Oh, okay, so I got him. I think I let loose another bomb there. So that's unfortunate. So that being my first miss, I'm now down to maybe 1 power up I got, or 2 from my dead body. And anytime you're powered down in this game, it becomes a lot more difficult. So you want to point blank these guys, but watch out, because they will release a nasty cloud of bullets, and they will continue to do it up the screen at you. And now this one, you just, I mean, unless there's some way to nicely route this, maybe there is. If I have a bomb, I'm using a bomb there. They all die. Focus on killing these big guys before they get to the point where they start releasing their shots. Okay, and now you can easily focus on killing the turrets on the outside. And final boss. We've got 2 lives. So again, kind of just resource pushed my way through this boss. Not the best strategy. I'm not gonna have the best strategy talk for this last level. Oh, yep, those green lasers are gnarly. I just bombed the shit out of him to get him to his final phase. He will, when he's got that pink middle, I guess he always does. First he'll release those lasers, and you got to be in his middle, and then he'll release the blue thing down the middle, and you got to be on his side. And then he released the green helicopters, and it's like you can dodge it and route it and stuff. But look, I had plenty of resources, and I wanted my Claire to just move on. I didn't love the game, so I wasn't about to kind of learn the super details. That is Gekirindan. Very short, almost feels arguably unfinished. It's like I could see it with those stage lengths. I could see it being like an 8-stage game, and them doing like 2 more time periods that aren't in the far future. But oh well, that's the arcades, the arcade game dev life for you. It's just like sometimes you just got to get it out. It's got some nice sprites. It's got some fun times to be had if you are craving something very mechanically simple, and just it's got polish to it. Everything that's there is good. It's just there's not a ton there. It's just kind of short and kind of sparse, but I'm not hating. It's certainly far from the worst shooter that I've played.